They've ghosted you again. You submitted your application. You have no idea why they haven't gotten back to you, even to just give you a rejection email, or you managed to get through, get an interview, and you haven't heard anything back. And you're wondering, where on earth are these people? They promised me that I was going to hear back from them soon. I don't understand why I'm not hearing back. Here's how to avoid all of that. If you're new here, I'm Alexandra Aileru, the founder of Confident Career Switch, where we coach you into the career that you love and also help organizations to keep the talent that they fought hard to get before they leave and they grow somewhere else. The best way to avoid getting ghosted is to break it down into two stages. So I'm going to cover the pre-interview stage first. Naturally, this stage is a lot tougher because they don't know you yet. Unless you have gone in warm and you've spoken to the recruiter and you've spoken to the hiring manager, maybe you met them at a networking event or you have them on LinkedIn, they have no idea who you are. So it's easier for them to say no to you because it's easy to say no to people that you don't know. So bear that in mind. Warm applications are always going to be best. Do you know this person? Do you know anybody that's a mutual that could be a way in for you into this role? These are the things that are going to help you, especially in this job market where there's so many people that are applying for roles and using AI to cheat and apply for so many more roles. You're up against so many people, but what's going to make you stand out is if they already know you. Something that is a great cheat code is obviously you do want to interact with the hiring manager or recruiter for the role, but you're not limited to LinkedIn. Can you find them on any other platform? Can you find their Instagram? Can you find their TikTok? Can you find their X? Can you find their Substack? Find them on a different platform and engage with them there. LinkedIn, especially when it comes to a job, they know lots of people are going to be flooding my inbox with requests concerning that particular job. But people tend to be a lot warmer in their DMs on a different platform. And so I'm always going to tell you, if you can find them somewhere else, then speak to them on that platform. Now, before you reach out to somebody else on a different social media platform, is your social media platform appropriate and clean? Because if not, now is the time that you need to go and do that. I believe that everybody should have two social media platforms. So, you have your account where it's open and everybody knows what you're doing and it's professional and you're just talking about how amazing you are. And that's where you attract all of these great opportunities to yourself. And you have your burner one where it's private and you post things that you truly care about and all of your silly pictures and your comments, and it's got your closest people that you love and who won't, try and repost things that are inappropriate about you. That's what I suggest moving forward. Okay. So do not reach out to somebody and you've got stupid things on your social media profile. Get rid of it, clean it up today and go and make your burner account. So now is the time for you to clean up your digital footprint and remember that your social media is your shop front. What we want is for people to see your shop front and go in and make a purchase and stay and be like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. So make your social media inviting. Make sure it ties into the roles that you're applying for. Maybe post, it doesn't always have to be a video. It can be pictures. You've got repost functions where, again, you're reposting maybe things from the organization that you're applying for, from the sector that you're interested in. Make sure that's all over your page. And people are like, oh yeah, like I can clearly see that they care about this thing. We're more likely to approach you than if your page doesn't mention anything that aligns to your career. Now, post-interview stage is a lot easier because they already know you, they've likened you, they've had a conversation with you. So really they shouldn't ghost you, but sometimes that happens. When you are in the interview process, always ask the question, when are you looking to fill this role? Because if they're like, immediately, we absolutely need somebody, we've got somebody who's going off on maternity leave or they're leaving, next week, that they're going to move very quickly. But if they're like, we're just trying to find the right candidate, or this is a role that we're going to fill at the back end of this year or beginning of next year, then you know that they're going to waste time. And when they're wasting time, that means that they're not going to get back to you quickly. So already have that as an expectation in your mind. Also ask, when can I expect to hear back from you? So if it's a week, maybe give them some grace period, because normally August, December and May, lots of people go on holiday. There's lots of bank holidays as well during that time period. So you might find they told you a week, but it ends up being 2-3 weeks. That is normal, especially during busy periods. But if it takes a really long time, like, it's not a busy period and you're not hearing back from them after 2, 3 weeks, then you know that there's something up. So letting them know that you're interested and that you're aware of their timeline is something that's really important as well. As soon as you get your interview invite, you're going to connect with everybody on LinkedIn. And when I say connect, you're going to comment, you're going to like, you're going to engage, not with all of their posts, but just let them know, I see you. I found you online if you hadn't already connected with them. And if you've already connected with them, then go back and, add something meaningful of value. Can you repost something of theirs, repost something and write something on top, especially on LinkedIn. That lets them know that you're thinking of them and should keep you front of mind. But of course, with everything, don't overdo it, because nobody likes somebody who tries too hard. And lastly, employers actually get ghosted as well. This is becoming more and more apparent. I remember there was a time where this definitely didn't happen, but especially if your process is taking too long, you may find that you had a candidate that you actually loved, but that they've ghosted you. And I tend to find that candidates ghost for the most part because the employer took too long to get back. So here's a few things. Don't ever assume that your email that you sent out to invite them to an interview actually landed. All communication doesn't necessarily go straight into their inbox. Sometimes it can go into their junk. So have a way of communicating with candidates or potential candidates that's outside of just the email. Can you also send a text message? I know it can be a lot to have people make phone calls. So can you have an email and a text message, because people are more likely to see the text message, go and check their email and see, I've been invited to an interview, or there's a follow-up, or there's some information. And these are things that obviously you can automate really quickly to send out both at the same time or with a slight delay. And you're going to increase your response rate and decrease the likelihood that they're going to ghost you. Equally as well, if there is a delay or you have an update on the likelihood of you replying back to with, some sort of update concerning the role, then factor that in and send out comms concerning that. People love it when they're updated, when they're in the know. And sometimes there's delays that happen for whatever reason. So again, have an automated process where you send out an email and a text message to say, hey, we spoke with you recently. We don't quite have an update yet, but we're expecting one by X date or in a week or 2 weeks. And people are like, oh yeah, I really appreciate that they reached out to me. I'm not just here sitting down, waiting patiently to hear back from them. Because obviously a lot of candidates are also applying elsewhere and interviewing elsewhere. So why should they be focused on an organization that hasn't prioritized communicating with them when they have one who actually does? And lastly, I know that my favorite organizations were always the ones that actually did give me a phone call. I remember being in a process where the onboarding process for this organization took weeks upon weeks. And I was still interviewing. And to be fair, I could have said, you know what, this is taking too long. This other place has actually given me an offer. I'm going to leave and go there. But I didn't, because my manager to be actually called me and checked up on me and said, hey, this is my number. You keep it and let's keep the lines of communication open. And because they checked up on me, I was like, no, do you know what? I really want to work in this place. They seem to care about me as well. So it's your job as an employer to do your own due diligence, to actually care about the people that you want to hire. It goes a long way. Otherwise, I would have been like, forget this. I'm just going to jump ship and go somewhere else where I know that the onboarding process does not take as long. So if you want more tips on how to avoid being ghosted and be in a community of other people who are navigating their career change, then comment career below. And what I will do is send you a link to our Discord, or you can click the link below in the description to join directly. I cannot wait to see you inside. The community is growing and it's a really, really exciting time. So I shall see you soon.